Hello, Marks. It's time for AEW. Psych. It's actually NXT time. NXT. We got tons of news around them. We got news actually all over the IWC. And guess what? You all need to be better. That's just shameful. This is Total Spotfest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to Total Spotfest. I am JJ Brownlee. He is Jamie Faulkner. And yes, I said Total Spotfest, not Total Spotfest Live. So for those of you who have been following with us here, before we get into everything, we want to kind of clear the air with you here because you might be seeing some different things out there. And it's like, whatever happened, we're the same people. We tweaked our name and our logo a little bit because when we were first coming up with this podcast, we thought we're coming up with names, and I really liked Spotfest. I wanted to put that in there. And Jamie's like, how about Total, because we always say Total Spot. How about Total Spotfest Live, like Total Request Live, right? Yes. Thinking I'll use 90s children back there, and we were like, oh, that's great. So I went out and I found some logos for TRL, and our very first video. If you're on YouTube, go to the video, scroll down, look at actually the placeholder for it because we weren't recording video at the time, just audio. Is a mimicked version of an old TRL logo, and then we quickly got away from it, and then it's like, we're not actually live. This is a joke that nobody got. So
yeah, it's our joke. We did a bad job of explaining that.
Hey, sometimes you swing and you miss. It's okay. But so from now on, just plain old Total Spotfest. That's it. So welcome to Total Spotfest. For those of you joining us, we do appreciate it. You can join the conversation if you're on YouTube down below. Give us a comment. You can holler at us on Twitter. It is at Total Spotfest. Our Twitter's still the same regardless. Ironically enough. Yeah. That hasn't changed. My Twitter hasn't changed. I'm JMoney1536. Jamie's J Faulkner 56. And we had NXT this past Tuesday. No AEW again.
Yeah.
Again, it's on Friday. And then after that, it's on Saturday. July's coming soon and not fast enough because it's like, I feel just out of rhythm, we always talk about AEW on Thursday mornings, and so we're talking about it now on Monday, so I'm getting thrown off. So I was like, I gotta watch Impact before we record the. Oh wait, no, that's because it's just all over the place. First world problems. So, Jamie, we're gonna talk about AEW. See, I just did it. Jesus Christ.
Yep. See,
we're gonna talk about NXT in a few here. Yep. There was a little bit of news, though, we should probably cover before we get into it.
Absolutely. There is actually a lot of news that's out there that, granted, small, but it's news nonetheless. So one of the big things that I saw was, first, guess who's coming back to wrestling now in WWE?
Oh, is this Megan's favorite wrestler? The one who is unable to be viewed upon?
No.
Okay.
But Sonya Deville is actually going to be making an in-ring appearance before too long. It'll be the first time she's been on wrestling on TV in over a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Basically ever since the loser SmackDown thing,
Right. I mean, they freaking need it. They got. I think SmackDown has 6 wrestlers or something stupid.
Their women's division's hot garbage, and there's only one name that I can think of that will save it. And by then, the draft will happen, and it'll be completely different.
I mean, do you really want to see Becky Lynch in this women's division though? Right now,
I think she's the only thing that could save it. Like how. Her boyfriend, fiance guy, he's the savior. He's the Monday Night Messiah. He's like, he's the savior for it. No. Becky's going to be the savior. She's their only saving grace. Because right now, like, my dog makes smaller pieces of shit than that is. And my dog's 130 pounds.
It is just steaming hot garbage. But, on the other hand, you had Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, so you figure, you got 2 good workers on that side. That's going to be a good – nope.
And Asuka.
I don't. Unfortunately, and I hate to even say this, I don't think Becky wants to come back right now. She's like, this is crap. Let's at least get in front of audience before I come back.
And that's probably the plan.
Hopefully, we'll see.
So, other news inside of WWE. This one pisses me off. And this is
so it's a WWE headline.
Yeah,
okay,
but
good.
it's not necessarily WWE. It is the damn internet wrestling community. You guys, I'm not saying
I know what you're talking
everybody,
about.
but be better. So we talked about a little bit on Tuesdays with Piper Niven coming out, and she's definitely more big boned and everything like that. She's
by talk you mean JJ just yelling at his microphone for about 2 minutes.
She is phenomenal. She's great. I don't care. She comes in all.
She could do Canadian destroyers, and she does a Michinoku driver.
Yeah, she's thick. Who gives a shit? She can wrestle, and she's good at it. But of course, WWE. The fan. I hate to say this, the fan bases just went after her for being, body shaming her, and that is just a load of bullshit. Like, if you're gonna get me hot about something, that is it. Like, I'm a fat guy. You can call me whatever, but she deserves better. She's on the main roster. She's making her television debut inside the United States and not on NXT UK. And all you can say about her is she's fat. Like, fuck off, okay?
Yeah.
She is amazing. Like, no. Be better.
Yeah, definitely. And here's the interesting thing, because it's like, she's not unknown. She's wrestled,
everywhere.
Kimberly, everywhere. She also wrestled Kimberly for the title in NXT UK several times over. It's very obvious these people have never watched anything other than Raw and SmackDown, and if you're one of these people listening right now, for some reason is all you ever watch, you don't give a shit about anything else, you think AEW is terrible, you're wrong. You don't like Impact or New Japan, NXT's, if you're one of these people, you probably don't want to listen to us anymore, because I'm going to dig into you as well. Okay, open your eyes. There's more than just one way to do something. And like I said, it's 2021. If you don't like somebody, that's fine. If you don't like the way they, based on, physical looks or whatever, okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, okay, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't you fucking go on Twitter or go on Facebook or go on the internet and start spewing all this nonsense. Like you are just a bunch of petulant fucking 35-year-old neckbeard sitting in your mom's basement, and it'd be better off if they just, I'm not going to finish that sentence, okay, because I'm going to get really bad.
Yes, thank you.
It's like, seriously, it's like you are the embodiment of Vince McMahon from the Attitude Era, which is basically how he kind of still is,
Yeah.
Why? What good does that do for shit anybody? It doesn't.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel better? You called a girl fat. Does it make you feel better? Fuck you.
Yeah, like, just like, the Call of Duty tough guys, the keyboard warriors, all these people just talk mad crap, but if you got in their face, nothing would happen. And that's the thing, like, you are legit trying to tear down a woman who isn't a phenomenal athlete, actually. I mean, size or not, she's a phenomenal athlete. And we've seen some big guys who are phenomenal athletes.
Keith Lee is the perfect example.
Yeah. I mean, and by WWE standards, so is Kevin Owens, and he's not a big dude. He just looks like he just drank too many 6-packs. That's about it. But like, Keith Lee is the perfect embodiment of that. Like, everybody loves Keith Lee, but man, you have a girl who does basically the same thing, or a woman, I'm sorry, does the same stuff. Oh no. Wait, I can't have that on my television. My eyes can't handle that. I'm like, well, you need to grow the fuck up. That's all there is to it.
And it's most pronounced in WWE, this ridiculous double standard, and I'm not out here, I'm not putting a feminist hat on trying to make a big political statement.
Neither am I.
And I'm not going down that road, but I am at least looking at it, because it is past time for us to be so petty about this. If you like wrestling, Well, then what's the character? What's the story? What's the athletic ability of that person? Those should be your standards, you know. And it's like, oh, I'm not really into them. I don't really like the way they look. Okay, that's what you hate the way Cameron Grimes looks with his hairy chest and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's not chiseled, right? Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Absolutely,
that's fine.
I don't like his look, but I don't.
As a hairy chested man, it's not like he's attacking Cameron Grimes for being that. I mean, you kind of are, but it's a little tongue in cheek.
It's more tongue in cheek. Yeah.
It's more tongue in cheek. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, it's like if you replaced all this stuff and with fat with just black, and you know, so that, you know, making like everybody under CNN's top story would, you know, it'd be like all over the place because it's a woman, these trolls think they can get away with it, and I for one am shamed. You know, when these things happen, it's kind of like Gamergate. You know, it's like, come on, guys, really. So
in an act of solidarity against these body shamers, quite a few of WWE's talent has actually came and spoke up. One of the most outspoken about it was Mia Yim, which I really liked. Bronson Reed was there too. Speaking of somebody who's, you know,
thick boy.
He
has a T-shirt that says thick boy. I mean,
Nash Carter from MSK, and even Miss Charlotte Flair got in on it on the action too. Because it's not about the size of the person; it's about who they are and their ability. If they can wrestle, I'm gonna watch them. I don't care if they're 800 pounds, if they're 80 pounds. I do not care. I watch Rio. Do you see me body shaming her saying she needs to eat a cheeseburger? Hell no. I'll never do that. She can wrestle, and I'll watch the shit out of that. Just because she doesn't fit the Vince McMahon stereotype, you know, just be better. That's all. I'm sorry. One of my tirades, but
one of my favorite female wrestlers I had seen was Awesome Kong.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And when she came out, it was and you strip away all of her layers of leather and crap that she had on there. She's a big chick. Like, not just, you know, she's big. She's like my height, and she's a big woman. But that's part of the reason I loved her, because it was just this it was this, you know, Big Show, Andre the Giant in female format. It was like, oh my God, where did they make her? Holy shit! It was amazing, and you know, this is why I got so hot on our last podcast, is because WWE brought this on themselves. They do this stupid juxtaposition where they're basically fat shaming her with the whole Eva Marie thing, which opened up that door for the internet to just flood in. If she was just like, if she has been there as a jobber to Charlotte Flair, nothing. There would have been nothing. I guarantee you. So, be better, people. Come on.
Yes. So moving on to something. I wouldn't say necessarily more positive, but I don't know if you saw this, but Angelina Love was all sorts of pissed towards the end of her time at TNA.
I saw that's a great interview. I don't remember where it was, but it was a great interview.
Yeah, so she talked about how Dixie Carter just basically just shit the bed.
Fuck Dixie Carter.
Yeah. So it was on Pro Wrestling Boom podcast is where she was.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically how everything got screwed up. And at one point, Dixie Carter wanted to shave her head and do a completely new look. And then they worked up her work visa, and then TNA tried to blame it on her when it's completely their fault. Like,
they even said on TV it was her fault. Like, that was the kayfabe they went with on TV, that she jacked up her visa.
Yeah.
Like, that's low.
Yeah, so I saw that. I thought that was fairly odd. I mean, I like Angelina Love. I thought Beautiful People was a great gimmick, and
it was a fantastic gimmick. Still is a good gimmick. It's just it's a little bit different now. She's doing a similar thing with Velvet Sky and somebody else. They call themselves something different, but it's over in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they're ROH folk now. So with Maria Kanellis over there. So
yep.
On to good news. Actually, if you think of it, I think this is phenomenal news, because you really get to know where AEW is. I'm moving to AEW.
Yeah, let's do it.
AEW announced that they are doing AEW Dynamite Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City.
That is awesome. And those of you who may not be familiar, that's where the U.S. Open, the tennis tournament, is every year.
Center court, sir.
The center court is it's like these big tennis venues. They have one big stadium and a bunch of little ones around it, basically.
Yep. So it's going to happen September 22nd.
So ready to see what happens. Honest to God,
17,000 fans is what is the amount of people that they're said to get. And somebody already, of course, the WWE fanboys are already saying they're not going to.
How many tarps are going to be? How many tarps are going to be up there?
Which Cody Rhodes, and typical Cody Rhodes, like, I've been told I couldn't sell out something before too. I was like, boom, like just the middle finger to him. I was so proud of him.
Right.
But this is going to give us a great understanding because, we're in Kansas City. Our fans, we have very passionate fans. We have great fans, but everybody knows East Coast wrestling fans are a different breed, and I respect that. I respect it immensely because they will let you know, legit in a New York second, no pun intended, where you stand. Well, maybe a little bit of fun. Yeah, maybe a little bit of fun. So, yeah, you will know. You will know who's over, who's not over, pretty much instantly, not we're trying to push over. Like, one of the things that people have been saying is you need to book Miro versus Kingston, Eddie Kingston, as the main event of that show, and have Eddie Kingston get the belt drop there in New York.
That would be amazing. Proud and Powerful getting the tag titles would be amazing. I mean, there's so many variations I can go off of there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he said 17,000. That stadium seats a lot more than 17,000, I thought.
My understanding was what I saw was 17,000. That's the number that it can host.
Oh, okay. It looks bigger.
Yeah, it looks large and in charge for sure.
All right. Well, regardless, and it's interesting too on the fact that New York specifically, because they've been out east, they've been to Philly, they've been to Pittsburgh, right, or Britsburg.
Yes.
They've been to DC was the first Dynamite, so they've been up in that area. But New York is WWE's territory. Not only are they based over in Connecticut, right across the way there, right? That is legitimately, I mean, that's where WWE started, was in New York. When there was territories, they were the New York territory. Even Vince McMahon's father, they were New York based. I mean, that is their center. It's like, I can't think of a good analogy, but it very much is their world. So that to me is a great thing. They're also doing a show in Jersey the week before, week after.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Week before, I believe.
Week before, yeah. So Newark, which is right across, the river there. So they're going to be up in there. I'm excited to see what happens. Just like you said, I want to see, because when All In, which was the pre-AEW proof of concept pay-per-view, right? When they announced All In, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, everybody said there's not a chance in hell you're going to sell 10,000 tickets. Not a chance in hell. That's what they're trying to sell in Chicago.
Yeah.
They're like, no way in hell. No way in hell. Tickets went on sale, and in under an hour, they were sold out. And here's Jim Cornette trying to eat his, big feathery fan, just like, yeah, suck it, So I'm excited to see exactly, because you're right. This is a litmus test, to be honest to God. And Tony had a big press conference where he was talking about it today with a bunch of, I don't know if it was a press conference or it was like a media scrum, but, he's talking about it a lot. He talked about kind of their pacing for how they're going to be taping the different shows as well. So this is actually I hate to even put the pressure like this, but it feels like a seminal moment for them moving forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is the post-COVID moment for them. Like, this will, I honestly think how well this goes determines their future.
Determines if they're really going to be the WWE size competitor or Impact, but better.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Which is fine. If it ends up being that. We still love it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be a fan pretty much the entire time unless they sign Braun Strowman. # don't sign Braun Strowman. But, I think this is going to define who they are, 100%.
I'm with you.
If New York accepts them, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. If they sell that thing out and it's a raucous bit, I mean, yeah, it'd be.
Yeah, because if that crowd is like ECW rockin' style, like just going ape shit, you got something there. Because I mean, we'll do that in Kansas City.
Well, and you're looking at this, okay? So you got September 5th ish, around September 5th is All Out, right?
Yep.
And you've got everybody that was recently released from WWE. It's right before all it happens. And then a couple weeks later, you have this. So and there's other people that are available that could be out there. There's different things that are happening. They could sandbag something big for this show.
Oh,
I don't
100%.
doubt that in the least.
Tommy End, something like that.
Something just massive, and I hope they blow it out. I mean, this is a show I'd almost no. I was gonna say I'd almost want to see a 3-hour show. Then I was like, nope, no, JJ, no,
don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't.
Did you see Tony Khan's thing about the shooting schedule in relation to this?
About Dark and Dark Elevation?
Yes.
Yeah, I did not read it, but I did see he did say something.
Okay, I got it right here. So what he said is that the plan is, and then moving forward, once they get back to touring, he said that they're going to be changing up the formats a little bit, right? Because you got Rampage now, plus you'll have Dark and Dark Elevation, and you're live, so you can't do the way they do it now is basically one other day a week. They do like a full day of shooting, basically, of all the Dark and Dark Elevation matches, just bam, 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 right? 6, 7, 8 hours, just go to town, right?
Yeah.
So what they're going to be doing, he's looking to secure a location. That's all he said. He didn't really get into depths on it, to shoot Dark. So Dark's still going to be its own thing, and then what was Dark, because the original Dark was basically whenever they did Dynamite, and we saw this when they came to Kansas City, they start an hour early, they start doing like 3 or 4 matches, and then after they finished they did a Dark match or 2, and that was what was on as Dark, because that's Dark matches, right? So they're going to do similar stuff for Elevation. So Elevation is going to be a lot shorter. They're probably going to do an hour, so do an hour before the actual bell for Dynamite, and that'll be Elevation. And then Dark, he's going to do separately. So it's almost like it's a true like developmental thing for YouTube. Dark is, and then Rampage is going to be a mixture of either live shows, because Rampage is on Friday nights, right?
Yep.
Hour on Friday nights. It's going to be a mixture of live shows or similar to Dark Elevation, where it's taped around a Dynamite. For the September 22nd show, he said that they're going to be taping Rampage there, meaning at Arthur Ashe Stadium. So the plan is to tape Rampage after Dynamite. So they're going to do the big, September 22nd show, and then intermission, and then do Rampage right after that for everybody in attendance. And the premiere of Rampage is going to be live. So he said as well, I'm paraphrasing a lot of this. He did a lot of interviews about this with people. So he sees Rampage as kind of almost a go-home show when they have pay-per-views, because they can use it.
I like that.
With the ability to do live or not live, right?
Yep.
So if they've got, for example, Full Gear in St. Louis, right? Well, they can do at the same arena that Friday night, do a quick little hour thing, maybe around a fan fest of sorts. I'm just saying.
That we will be in attendance.
We will. Anyway, so that's a thought, about how, I don't know logistics, but that's what he was saying, because it's going to be partial. Sometimes it's going to be live, sometimes it's going to be recorded. He's going to record it like Elevation. We're going to record it around Dynamite where it is. So interesting stuff. It's good. It's all good. It's all good stuff. He has a forthright plan, and that's the good thing too. We're not just keeping with the same old, because it's Dark and Dark Elevation. It's a lot to watch, and it's mostly, yeah, not that great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a couple good things like seeing Ref Aubrey and Tay Conti do the salsa dance. Yeah, that was really great. That's about it.
I mean, I do give it a view on YouTube. Both of them, I kind of click through it pretty quickly. Stopping a match that I want to see, and yeah.
I mean, Paul White's he's still struggling to be an announcer. It's fine though. He's struggling.
He's not bad. I don't mind him.
I just wish he'd call Move the correct name. That's all I want. Nothing major.
I dig that he does it.
That's why you like Cameron Grimes and I don't.
Touche. All right. Any other news you have?
No. Let's dive right into NXT. I'm excited. I'm really excited to talk about this NXT because it was one of the better ones.
This felt like a reset. Now we talked about AEW setting point. Going to be the 22nd. Is that going to be a new? This felt like a reset. Post-TakeOver. So you have ramifications, and at the end here, I'm going to kind of come back to that comment. So the night started off with what we really wanted to see. So here comes William Regal out, right? And he's all tearful, and he's talking about how he started when in 8-9 years ago, whatever it was. Whenever NXT started, he'd been here since day one. He sat right there. He pointed at the announcer's table. He's giving them good words. It was a retirement speech. It absolutely was a retirement speech. Mm-hmm. The way he delivered it, kind of the way he's setting it up, started to cry. Oh, side note, they had the same attendance that they had from TakeOver.
Yes.
So until they hit the road, they're going to have that about 300-ish people, which is good. And it absolutely makes a difference. 1,000%.
100% it does. 100%.
Yeah, we know that, but especially with NXT, so he's going on here, and right before he announces that he's going to step away, here comes Karrion Kross and Scarlett.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, really, dude? Okay. He's out in his suit and everything, and he's turning full heel, right? He's going full heel mode on him, that nobody gives a shit and all this stuff, whatever. And then the music hits. Doon, doon, doon. Doon, doon. Joe. Samoa Joe comes on out. People going crazy. So he comes out and, says a little hot spell. And, Regal then says that he basically wants him to take his place. He's like, you should be the general manager. And so Joe takes it and goes, well, let me think about that for a second. And my answer is that I decline. And you're like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
I thought that's the point of him bringing it back.
That was it. Yeah.
That's why, right?
Yeah.
Well, not so fast, my friend. So he talks about how NXT needs Regal, sort of kind of this and that, whatever. And so Regal, he then offers to basically be Regal's right hand of doom, the destroyer, as Triple H called him when he brought him up to Raw, So the enforcer, the destroyer, the right hand of doom.
Perfect.
And Regal graciously accepts, which at that point he gives him the stipulation that is like, if you do this, you cannot be an active wrestler. He goes, okay. And you can also not go after or attack any talent in NXT unless provoked. That's a good asterisk there.
Yeah, unless provoked.
So it's like, okay. So he agrees. They shake on it, and then Joe takes the mic and turns to Karrion and just goes, why the hell are you still in this ring? Or something of that nature. Just right in his face. It's like, yes, they're gonna throw down. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, provoke me.
We will see it.
Provoke me.
But it's a fantastic way, like we talked about, to get Joe in there. He's not maybe medically cleared. Maybe he doesn't want to be a full-time wrestler because of concussions and stuff. But get him in there in that almost, like we said, Triple H authority-esque light, where he's in charge, sort of, but he can mix it up a little bit here and there. So, and if he does eventually go back to being a full-time wrestler, it's an easier transition than he's a GM, right?
Yep. Makes a lot of sense.
So, plus, I like having Regal. I really do.
I do too. I love Regal.
if nothing else, just to hear him announce War Games every year.
Yes. I mean, that, you know what? I still love him from WCW when he was Sir Steven Regal.
So, yes. Oh, you're way back now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's how they started. We did, in fact, get a "Joe is going to kill you" chant when he talked to Cross. So
it was great. Great moment. Great moment. It made my
it
heart
was
happy.
fantastic. And then here's an interesting thing. Okay, I thought this was one of the better episodes of NXT in a while, and I really liked a lot of recent stuff on NXT.
Same.
But this whole episode kept me enthralled. There's only 4 matches this whole night, by the way.
Yeah, because the other mayhem was just, it made
Everything else was. I mean, this is WWE's main roster shows, right?
Yeah.
Main roster shows.
Yeah.
Take note. This is how you do promos. This show is how you do it in a way that's compelling and good and tells this is how you do it and whatever. So the first match of the night was Imperium versus Breezango, which is a pretty good tag team match there.
Yeah.
And Breezango got a win. They beat Imperium on a little reversal, and then of course Imperium went ape shit and beat them up. And they have a new thing they're doing now where they bring a Imperium banner out and just like a flag over a dead soldier, they lay it over them after they beat it. So they beat up Tyler Breeze and then laid a flag over him in the ring.
I like it.
Okay, cool.
I like it.
It's cool. It's cool. Imperium's always solid. Then you go backstage and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are doing what Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly would do, just going at each other, trying to be held back by all these people and all this stuff, whatever. So here comes Regal in his right hand, Samoa Joe, come right in the middle of all this, and and Regal's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. You guys are getting a match at Great American Bash, and it's going to be an actual wrestling match, no more unsanctioned stuff. One-on-one wrestling match. Next week, you each have a match to get yourselves ready. Pick your own opponent. Fair, good. And they keep going at it. And in the middle of that, Cole slips away from the security guards holding him and kind of elbows Joe to get out of the way. That didn't sit well with the Samoa submission machine, who immediately strips his jacket off, sheds all security guards, and then puts Cole to sleep. Tells the security guard then, it's like, when he wakes up, you tell him Mr. Regal expects his answer.
He was provoked, ladies and gentlemen. He was provoked.
Asterisk. Right there. Asterisk. The power game. Blessed be the power game. If you watch them up, down, you know what I mean.
Blessed be the
And
power.
I did already tweet at Xavier Wood saying, hey, Joe's back. I want my power game t-shirt, damn it. Where is it? Where is it? That's another story for another day.
Yes.
All right. So then you had a surprise banger of a match. Maybe not a banger. It was a very good match. Kushida had the open cruiserweight challenge.
Oh yeah,
right?
this match was great.
And he went up against debuting Trey Baxter. Now,
Yes.
Trey's been on the indie circuit a lot. He was in a Ring of Honor. He's Cora Jade's boyfriend. Yeah. If you follow Cora Jade, you've seen this, this guy with kind of, this ginger hair. That's Trey Baxter. That's his new moniker in NXT. And these two, I love my flippy spinny shit. You know that.
Me too.
And this is all the flippy spinny shit I needed. Trey Baxter is unbelievable. There was this once volley that he did. It was a standing Spanish fly on Kushida. He then went to the ring and did it over the corner, and then did a springboard 450 immediately after that.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
Spanish fly wasn't the cleanest, but it was still a great bam, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Kushida, of course, he eventually won. It was a title match, and this guy's debuting, but very good showing for Trey Baxter, who. After the match was over, Kyle O'Reilly came out halfway through, right? And he comes up in the ring and he gets up to go talk to Kushida. Kushida's, you want some of this, you want some of this. He goes, no, I'm not here to take your challenge for your cruiserweight, open challenge or whatever, I'm here because I want to face the best, and I have a match next week where I pick my opponent. I want you to be that opponent. So, get Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly, which I don't like Cool Kyle either. I don't. I like Kyle from Undisputed Era.
Yes,
Yeah.
regular
The
Kyle's
air
great.
guitar,
Cool Kyle, not
air
so much.
guitar playing. Yes, that's regular Kyle. But I do still like him in the ring, and him and Kushida. It's going to be a good match.
It's going to be a great match. Kyle O'Reilly's match. I mean, his ring skills have not diminished because of a terrible gimmick.
Yeah, it's just the gimmick needs work. So.
Yes.
You had that. Then you go, and this is where you started having a bunch of like promos that actually were worthwhile. So you had Frankie Monet, who said next week she's going to have the part 2 or the
Encore.
the encore of her world debut. It is okay, all right. And then she goes over around the corner, and there is Jessie Kamea and Aaliyah there. They were in the dark match for TakeOver, and it was the two of them versus Zoe Stark and Sarray, right? Which, by the way, Zoe Stark did her finishing move on Aaliyah. Apparently, I saw a GIF of it, and that's such a good move.
I love it. Move. Yeah, the flip GTS.
A spinning flip, go to sleep. Oh my God, it's so good. So anyway, she comes over and talks about that real briefly with the two of them and says that, it's a shame that, Robert Stone was always there kind of getting in the way of your guys' success. And then Robert Stone, right, she says that, comes out the door, and he goes, hey, what's going on here? It's like, I was just telling them how lucky they are to have somebody who watches out for their success like you do. So they're definitely not tipping their hand at where Frankie Monet is going to be feuding with, because she keeps getting in the midst of drama with
everywhere,
all the women's division, and I dig that because I don't know where they're going to go with her. I don't want to see her up in the title picture necessarily with this cast of characters right now, way the title picture is. But depending on how they move that belt around, I mean, it's a good use of somebody without getting them any actual ring time and only give them 2 minutes. This is how you do it. Once again, this is the way you do promos, WWE. Speaking of promos, after that we had the $1 million coronation.
Oh my God!
Jamie loved every second of this. Let me just say that. Okay,
100%.
So I mean every second, which is unbelievable when you think about everybody involved here. So
yes,
$1 Million Man's out in the ring, and here comes LA Knight, right? So he comes out, and he's getting ready, DiBiase says a quick word, about how, want to find someone to carry on his legacy and the belt, blah, blah, blah. And then LA Knight starts to go into his regular, shtick, right? Like, let me talk to you. No, let me back up here. Ted, let me actually talk. He like breaks the fourth wall, sort of like drops kayfabe almost.
Yeah.
And he goes in how grew up as a kid. They didn't have a lot of money, and the kids in the neighborhood, they always wrestled in the backyard. He was always Ted DiBiase, and he had the toy with the little toy belt, which I had to. And how he meets your idols, and he gives you this long, heartfelt story. It was
great.
I didn't expect this from LA Knight at all. This is out of his character 100%, but it's fantastic. It's like, this dude's got heart. Okay, all right. I don't know where they're going with this necessarily. So then, I find out very shortly because Ted DiBiase gets the belt, hands it to him, and there's the little fireworks spoo up, and they do that little pose and a couple things, and then LA says, quote, looking at the belt, now that I have everything I want, it's time to drop what I don't need. And then he plows Ted DiBiase with the belt and beats the crap out of him. And I didn't see it. It's like I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming all in the same breath.
Yeah, they did so well disguising it.
It was that kind of like, but once it happened, it's like, well, of course he did that. Why wouldn't he? Of course, I saw that coming. So beats the holy crap out of him. Here comes Cameron Grimes to save him. They do one punch, two punch. LA runs away, and Grimes is sitting there, like watching over him. So yeah, LA is so good.
It was
so
perfect.
Good.
Best heel.
So good.
Best heel in NXT. I'm calling it now.
He might be the best heel in all of WWE. I'd have to really think about that because I mean,
as long as they don't mess with Roman Reigns,
Well, yeah. There's rumor that they're going to turn Roman face. I'm like, why? This is the best Roman's been
ever
since ever, really. But no, this is fantastic, and I give a lot of praise to LA Knight. I gave him, not necessarily a direct comparison, but I gave him a Shawn Michaels-esque, designation several weeks back, because of this, he has this ability in him. His mic skills are by far probably the best one of the best on the roster, and this promo was unbelievable. Go watch it if you haven't. It's fan-freaking-tastic.
He got me. And typically, I'm not that easy to get. And I'm like, oh man,
yeah.
Like he started to piss me off a little bit because I'm like, I think if you remember my thoughts on the $1 Million Man, I'm not a big fan, But he just took me on this journey. Like, I was a poor kid too. I'm like, okay, yeah, God, yeah, man. And then he's like, I'm gonna drop what I don't need. And he popped him in the face. I'm like, oh my God, yes, you're my favorite. Like it was like that fast.
It was great. It was great. Kudos is how you do things. So you follow that up with women's tag match. You had Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez going up against Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. And they did a little promo before, about how, Dakota needs a belt, needs gold as well, and Raquel, she needs more gold, whatever. And I'm just like, you guys should be in this. You should be in this tag thing. That really,
yeah.
Nothing against Raquel as a singles competitor, or even Dakota, who deserves to be NXT champion. I think. I don't know.
I was hoping for a turn right here. It really was.
I'm still holding out hope there's going to be a turn. I don't want to necessarily see them continue to go after the tag belts because of what happened later on in the show and some other things that are out there. NXT is by far the best women's division in all of wrestling. They have a deep women's division too. So this was a good example of it because Kane and Casey have been off for a little bit. Casey had a torn LCL or a partially torn LCL. And so they were getting some work and stuff. And you could tell that they were definitely working on combo moves when they were out because the two of them are actually great as a tag team. Like their combo move, they're both like 5 foot. And Casey's like 100 pounds dripping wet, right? But they do these great little team up moves that give it a good bit. So they're a good opponent to have for people out there because it's not just a flat out squash. So and at the end of the night, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, of course, they did win, right? Like you expect, but it was an entertaining little tag match.
Absolutely.
So. And you got this weird commercial that kept airing throughout the night. That it was like a battery being refilled. It showed it go to 11%, and later on in the show, you had the same thing. The battery is up at 20%.
Which I have ideas of who that is.
Okay, because I thought about it. I have no freaking idea.
One Roderick Strong.
Oh, okay.
Because next week the Diamond Mine opens, and I don't think that's Roderick Strong.
It could be though. I mean, his wife is Marina Shafir is still assigned with WWE. Only Jessamine was released, and only in her wrestling capacity. She still works for WWE, just on the digital side of things.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could be Diamond Mine. I don't know. I've been all over the board on Diamond Mine. Like that was another commercial, by the way, too. The Diamond Mine officially opens, quote unquote, opens next week. Whatever. We started off with Hellbent. It's Tessa Blanchard and Daga. Her husband. I don't know why that's so. It's 4 letters, 2 A's. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say.
I don't know,
but it absolutely is. But we were hell-bent at first, and then I read something about how it's going to be an actual place, not a people. So it's going to be like a Raw Underground. Oh, okay. And now it's like, well, now you mentioned Roger Strong. Like, well, that could be Roger because I mean, Marina's a MMA, and they could be Diamond. I don't know, but cryptic commercials galore. Which leads us to Io Shirai, who I love Io to death.
Same.
I've made the comment before. best women's wrestler in the world. And if she's not number one, because there are some other great ones around the world.
She's definitely top
right
3.
Now, she's top 3, top 5 at minimum.
Yeah.
And that's probably way too generous. But so she looks great. She looks refreshed. She got a little time off. So, recharge the batteries, right? Cool. So she comes out, starts to talk a little bit about her promo about who she's going to, everyone wants to know, like, where she's going to focus next or whatever. And as soon as she said that, here comes Candice LeRae. I'm like, yes, please, yes, please, yes, please. More of them. More of this together. I love it.
Yes.
So Candice saying, lots changed. You've been gone. You see I'm a champion now. Blah, blah, blah. This whole 9 yards. Their feud was fantastic. So she goes out to the ring and says, but there is one difference between, before and now. And then Indy jumps her from behind, right?
Yeah.
So they beat up Io pretty good. They go out and put her on. They clear off the announce table, put her on there, and Candice sends LeRae up to, or Candice sends Indy. That's the right words.
Yes.
Up to the top rope to do her big elbow drop onto the announce table with Io. When out to save Io comes
Saray?
Zoe Stark.
Not Saray?
It's not Saray. And it's like, maybe it's too on the nose, but it is on the nose. They were a tag team together in Stardom.
Yeah. Like they know each other better than anybody.
It should be Saray. And Zoe Stark comes out, which, she's been teaming with Saray. And I love me some Zoe Stark, so that's great and all. I feel like that's a put-together tag team if they're going to start pushing them together.
I think it's just to give Zoe the rub.
I'm good with that. I am good with that. I would like to see Zoe actually feud with, Dakota, and...
Or she turns on Io, and then there's a Io-Zoe feud.
That'd be great too. Yeah, you can go different ways with this here. But it makes sense to put Io against Candice because they're just magic together. They have history. It's great. Indy, we're big fans of. She's come a long way.
Yeah.
We love us some Indy. We're both indexers here. So
yes, hardcore.
So if you're gonna go in a tag team though, you gotta do it with Io and sorry. All I'm saying.
Not wrong. Not
Triple H,
wrong.
if you're listening, it is obvious because it's not hard to miss. Just do it. So anyway, there's that. We'll see more about that coming up here. Now, the main event of the night was a match that I didn't think I would actually give a shit about, but it was a entertaining ass match.
It was a really good match.
Ciampa and Thatcher versus Grizzled Young Veterans in my favorite type of tag match, a tornado tag match.
Yes, same.
So, for those of you not familiar, tornado tag means everybody's in the ring. There's no tag ins, no tag outs, no countouts, no DQ. Anybody can pin anybody at any time. It's great.
Yes.
It's true tag team wrestling if you really want to get to it. But whatever. Not really. But it's fantastic. And these four they're all just strong guys. You got two British guys from northern England, who do that stiff British style. Yeah, and Thatcher is this kind of, cage fighting, strong hitting, submission guy, and then Ciampa is the Blackheart that we know and love. So it was a lot of hard shots and a lot of it was good action, back and forth. Felt really good. Ciampa and Thatcher ended up winning by getting a double submission on one of them. I can't remember which one's name.
It was the long-haired one, not the diaper guy.
Right. It wasn't Diaper Bottoms. It was, his little buddy. So
yeah.
It got double submission on that. It was fantastic. And that was how you ended NXT. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is one of the best NXTs I think that there has been in a long time. It felt new and fresh.
It did, and because of that, I'm teetering.
Let's go for it.
Okay, it was a total Spotfest for me.
Ooh, okay.
It had everything I wanted. The only thing it did not have was Index. That's it. But it had everything else I wanted, and stuff I didn't know I needed. LA Knight, Eli Drake, whatever you want to call him, is now my favorite NXT wrestler. Like period. Like end of story.
Deservedly so.
Like I liked him
we
before.
know he could do it in the ring, but oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a spot fest. And the only reason being because at the end of the day, there was only 4 matches, and there wasn't, even though they were all pretty good matches, there wasn't a match that I was just like, oh my god, just killed me. So
yeah,
I'm sticking at 4.
I get you. That's why I was originally teetering, but I'm thinking like the body of work, even with the matches being okay or good, but everything else, like Joe freaking.
They put Joe throughout the show.
Yeah.
Like they were in the office, and here comes Gargano, and
That was one of my
Austin
favorite things. Because here comes Gargano, Joe, and then freaking Austin Theory still got the glove and the glasses like Diesel.
So the tank tops like Diesel.
Yeah.
It's just like
And
the whole
even
Diesel power.
and Gargano's
fist.
like, quit, you're not Diesel anymore. Like it was so good. Like everything, I loved it.
He's trying to butter up Regal, and stuff. And Joe just tells him to get the hell out of the office. And as he's leaving, in comes Pete Dunne. And all there is a stare down between Pete Dunne and Joe.
Oh, my God. When I saw that, I had goosebumps all over my body. I'm like, I did not know I needed this in my life until this very moment.
And now I want nothing else. Yes, it was.
I want Pete Dunne, Samoa Joe.
At the very end, they ended it with a very good thing with Regal getting in his car. And he goes, "Good first night." And Joe goes, "First night of many." So I mean, sprinklings of Joe. You had the fantastic LA Knight stuff going on, Io and Candice. But like I said, if you had that one match that just like blew my face off, then yeah. But 4 matches, and they both were good. So still. Spotfest. That's better than I've ranked the NXT regular shows in a while.
Same. Like I don't give out total Spotfest like ever, and I think we both gave them a Spotfest for TakeOver because we thought it was.
We
really
did for
good.
TakeOver.
And
TakeOver was really good.
They kept the momentum, but in a completely different way, and that's why I think I love it.
Yes,
completely different. They like you said at the beginning, total reset, and it just is perfect. I think they are setting themselves up to be who they were, and if not even better. And they have other people coming back from injury, and they got a lot of young talent that they just brought in who's going to be doing some things. And man, the NXT is going to be exciting before too long, and it's going to be the #1 show for WWE. Period. I'm calling it. At some point, it'll be the #1.
I hope to God you're right. I don't know if it ever will, because at the end of the day, it's still viewed by some people as a feeder brand. There are people who've been scouted for during the whole releases that are going to be showing up in Raw and SmackDown. I've heard that Toni Storm is one of those. 'Cause where's Toni Storm been? She's getting ready to, get squashed by, either Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley every week. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I hope that's the way it goes there. Hunter seems to be getting more and more control every year.
Yeah.
So he could definitely tell. I mean, shit. The redesign, because they update their logo every year, right? The new logo this year is so metal. You know that nobody but Hunter, came up with that. Their theme song is death metal.
Yeah.
It's like you could tell he is just just all up in that Play-Doh there. It's it's all got his fingerprints all over it. And I think you said the key point too. Different. This was a take-home. This was a post pay-per-view show. Different. You had new feuds going. You had the old feuds that they're still carrying on, like Cole and O'Reilly, right? But in a smart way. You had stuff coming back, Io and Candice. So different. Which is to say, let's flip it back to the other WWE properties, do a quick comparison, because what are your thoughts here? Because what can those other shows learn other than just straight copying the recipe, right? There's got to be things they can do, because we've said this, when talent gets, got dropped, when all these different things happen, they have the talent, they have the characters, they have mic men and women, they have women that can do a women's division.
Yeah.
Take aside the fact that, Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard are, all over that shit. Okay, take that aside for a second there.
Okay.
differences here because one of them, NXT, is doing fantastic stuff with what they have, and one of them, the other two, are not.
Yeah, so the elephant in the room is the 3-hour giant that can barely get 1.6 million people to watch it nowadays. And I think their number one problem is, like, legit, it is just Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. What else do they have going on right now? Because every damn episode is something about Bobby Lashley putting up his title against Drew McIntyre. Like, all the damn time. So basically, since the beginning of the year, it's been those two. Well, not since the beginning of the year. It's like right after the Rumble, right? So, yeah. So it's been those two going head to head, basically
which is
every damn week.
Early February, right? Into January, early February. It's middle of June right now.
4 months of the same match. We've legit had 4 months of the same match variation. That's the thing. Like, they keep doing the same stuff. So. And I know Vince hates what he calls cold matches, where it's just you throw a match together just to throw people out there to wrestle to get some time. But he wants some story behind it. Well, great. Then develop some goddamn stories. Because right now, you ain't got any. That's why no one watches your damn product anymore. The days of having 4 to 4.5 million people tuned in every damn week to see what happens with Stone Cold and The Rock are done and gone. So you need to come up with something fresh, and the things that you're coming up with do not work. Plain and simple. Time to go out to pasture and shoot them.
And the fact you say that Vince hates the cold matches, because what do we see more than often? At least when I was watching those crap shows, what do we see more than often? Like, oh, here's the Viking Prophets out of nowhere to face off against the or the Viking Raiders out of nowhere to face off against. The Hurt Business. Okay, that lasted 2 weeks, and now, okay, yeah, for somebody who doesn't like that, he sort of has a lot of that shit on his show.
Yeah, for fillers.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he does it for fillers because, I mean,
yeah,
Raw needs...
He only cares. He legitimately thinks that there's like 4 feuds total. That's all that matters for a 3-hour show. Like one big thing each hour. That's the important thing. And you keep that running forever, and everything else is just fuck it. Who cares, right?
Yeah,
that's got to be one because that's all we see every week.
So yeah, I can paraphrase it really quick. Otis should still be in Heavy Machinery and have his goddamn beard. He looks ridiculous without it.
He looks bad.
The Viking Raiders should not be known as the Viking Raiders. They should be known as the War Raiders, like they've always been. Quit changing people's names just because they came from NXT. We know who they are. Why are you changing their gimmick and who they are? It makes zero sense. Like, the rumor has it they're wanting to change Piper Niven, who we were speaking about earlier, to Dewdrop. What the fuck is that?
Dewdrop?
Dewdrop. That's why they didn't announce her name, because they don't know her name yet. They're not going to call her Piper Niven. Most ridiculous damn thing. Like, that right there in itself is like you're insulting your fan base.
She's in the WWE ethos.
Yeah. Then the one to top it off. If something is working, don't break it just for the sake of breaking it. Like the Hurt Business.
Hurt Business.
Yeah. The Hurt Business. And this whole rumor that you're going to turn Roman Reigns' face is just the dumbest damn thing ever. Or, I don't know, adding Alexa Bliss to the freaking playground, and now, where's the Fiend? He's nowhere to be found. It's all about Alexa now. Like, you done shit on one of your best properties right there. Again, I love me Alexa. I first thought it was a great idea, but now I am so ready for it to be over. Because this version of Alexa, which you can get a cameo from her for $600 right now, is just ridiculous. Sorry. Hot take. Hot take Thursdays, folks.
That's you're not wrong, and I can sit here. I can say what is wrong. Everything's wrong with a lot of this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But the good news is that if you like WWE properties, there is something that is right, and it is NXT.
100%.
And I don't know why there's resistance to it. There's people, like I said, keyboard warriors that are hell bent on SmackDown's the greatest thing that's ever happened to wrestling. I don't know what SmackDown you're watching.
No.
I tried watching it when my girl Ruby was still on there. Hey, Ruby. And it was just hot garbage. It was And I said I like the Roman angle, but the follow through has been missing. And when you have a 2-hour show, and literally half of it is dedicated to one angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have anywhere. You can't have a women's division. You can't have the Street Profits, actually in any decent matches. You got to have these stupid 10-person tag matches just to get everybody enough face time that you can justify their fucking contract.
Yeah.
NXT though, I'm excited to see where things go. I'm happy that Joe is back. So happy that Io's back too. I legitimately was worried about her popping up on Raw one night. I legitimately was.
If that happened, I
was
may have cried.
Oh no. So, good stuff. But I tell you what, you guys let us know. Are you part of the community that does not like NXT for whatever reason, or are you sane? Let us know down below. Give us a comment. Give us a tweet at Total Spotfest. Let us know what you think about Joe being back.
Yes.
And Io. And who you want to see Io really feud with. Do you want to see her in the tag team spot for a minute with, I don't know, maybe Saray as her partner?
That would make a lot of sense.
Or do you think her and Zoe Stark could be bomb.com? Or do you want to see her go singles feud? Let us know what you guys think. So.
100%. Yeah. Tweet at us. Put a comment down below on the YouTube video. Just let us know what you think, because I like hearing from you. Or if you want us to have a discussion about something you like, man, I'd like to hear their opinion on X. Put it in there. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, just drop a bomb and walk away. We will get to it. Don't we worry about that.
Yes.
All right, we are going to be back on Tuesday with our AEW review. It's like I said, these are all backwards here for another few weeks.
Yes.
So we got one more Friday show. Then we're going to have some Saturday shows, which I think are going to be a lot better than these Friday shows.
Yeah,
so,
Wednesday, June 30th is the day they finally get back to Wednesdays.
Okay, so it is in June still.
Yes.
So they're going to do one more at Daly's Place basically, and then they go on the road.
Yep.
Okay, so one last Wednesday at Daly's Place, and then on the road.
Yep.
Kick ass.
Yep.
All right, so we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll talk about AEW Dynamite. I'm excited to see what happens tonight on Impact, because Sami Callihan, fired, not fired.
Yes.
Moose is supposed to have a segment tonight, and it has been rumored. The word is
Confirmed now. It is confirmed he signed a 2-year deal.
Oh, you did see that?
Yes,
Okay,
confirmed 2-year deal.
Good on you, Impact. So, but he's going to have a segment tonight. We'll probably talk about that. And they're supposed to be announcing. This is the real cool. Impact's supposed to be announcing a dangerous stipulation match for Slammiversary. I'm telling you, it's Ultimate X. It's got to be right.
Please be Ultimate X.
It's got to be Ultimate X. Well, they've done King of the Mountains as well, and King of the Mountain as for the X Division title would be great too. If everybody's not familiar with King of the Mountain matches, go look them up. It's an interesting concept. Okay, it's like a mix between a ladder match, a gauntlet, and the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
it's very unique.
Yeah,
the rules can be confusing if you don't know what's going on, though, because you're like, wait, what? But anyway, a dangerous stipulation match announcement. So good stuff happening tonight on Impact. I'm excited to see what happens. We'll talk about that too. Talk about whatever news comes about. And then we'll be back again next week too on Thursday. Talk about NXT and some more stuff. And then eventually into June, we'll get back to our regular cadence of Thursdays AEW, Tuesdays everything else. So we'll get there. We promise. It's coming soon. So bear with us. But thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. Jamie, why don't you take us home?
Well, if you're not down with TS minus the L, I got 3 words for you. Please provoke Joe.
Please do, and see what happens.
Yes.
All right, guys. We will see you next time. Peace.